What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, look, OP-14 is out, at least over in Japan. And that means what we need to do is talk about some of the new decks, which are coming around with OP-14. I've already told you about Mihawk, but I think we also need to have a chat about Jinbe. Jinbe is the other new leader that I like very much from OP-14, and it is a leader which is having a little bit of play over in Japan right now. Cannot stress enough that the OP-14 meta is very early. We haven't had big events with the OP-14 meta, so what I'm kind of showing you here, these are early decks, early lists, what people are playing around with, but I think there's something there with Jinbe. So let's talk about a deck that's done quite well over in Japan since OP-14 came out. And we're going to be using a list that was shared by Akio Urasuna. It's all one word, I'm not exactly sure where the splits are, but something along those lines that they went and played and did pretty well with this, well, literally in a couple of days since this actually came out. Now, as a quick reminder about the leader here, we have a skill, we got obviously mono blue, 5/5. We've got a skill whereby activate main, you may trash a card from your hand to give 2 rested Dawn to your leader or character with the trait Fishman or Merman. Cool, or Merfolk. Okay, cool. So basically, we want to go pretty tribal here. We are going to be playing a non-Fishman, non-Merfolk, but there's a bloomin' good reason for it. First of all, we're playing 4 of the new Arlong. It's a 1-cost 3k, and it's standard. If your leader has Fishman trait, then on play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, find a card with a cost of 2 or more, and add it to your hand. Oh. Yeah, this is a generic searcher, but it's way better. It is any card, as long as it's not a 1-cost. Now, it only works for Fishman leaders, admittedly, but any 2-cost or higher card, absolutely busted. Have to play it as a free of, no question there. Easy. We've then got 4 copies of Kiss here, 1-cost 3k, and on play, if your leader is Fishman, draw a card. Look, it's a 1-cost 3k, which once you put Don on, and the leader will put Don on, it actually becomes a viable attacker, and you draw a card when you play, add all of that up together, and this actually makes perfect sense. Very good, not in a lot of decks, because 3k is a little bit low even with the card draw, but because you're granting Don with your Jinbe leader skill, this actually works very nicely indeed. We've also got a playset here of Koala, because there is a blue Koala which came around in OP-14. And we've got a 2-cost, counter plus 2k. So, because it's 2-cost, it is searchable with Arlong, and it's got a 2k counter. And activate main, trash this card. Give your Fishman or Merfolk card, leader or character, a 2k bump for the turn. Yeah, so either it's a counter plus 2k, or you play it, and then trash it to give a 2k bump for the turn. Either way, that's a win. You can see why this will be getting in here quite nicely. Now, this deck is actually pretty heavy on OP-14, which shouldn't surprise you because it's blue Fishman, and we got a lot of green Fishmen before OP-14. But we've got Kurobi here. 3-cost, 3k, counter plus 1,000. If a card is trashed from your hand by your effect this turn, this character gains Rush. Yeah, look at your leader skill. So it's going to be a 3-cost 3k with Rush. And on KO, draw a card. Now, the draw is really important in a Jinbe deck because you're trashing cards from your hand to use a leader skill. If we don't have a bunch of draw to replenish our hand, things are going to get bad very quickly. But don't worry, because we do. So we're good. Now we've got the blue promo Arlong coming in here, which is a card we've not really seeing very much play at all. And it's the one whereby 3-cost 4k, counter plus 1,000, Don X1 when attacking. If you've got 4 or more life, your opponent puts a card from their hand to the bottom of their deck. But remember, your Jinbe leader skill is attaching Don. So what that means is this is a lot of the time going to end up being like a 6k. So all of a sudden it becomes a way better attacker than it was before. But you've still got a very annoying skill whereby Don X1 when attacking, you make your opponent get rid of a card. Yeah, that's cool. Now, the Charlotte Pudding shouldn't really surprise anyone. This is widely regarded as one of the absolute best cards in the entirety of the One Piece card game. On play, your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws 5. Yeah, it's a ridiculous card. Absolutely absurd card. Sees a huge amount of play. There's very little hand disruption of this type in the One Piece card game. So basically any deck that can play this is going to play it. No, it's not Fishman or Merfolk. It's one of the very few cards we're even considering in this deck that isn't Fishman or Merfolk. But to be blunt, it's that gosh darn good. Now we've got Aladdin, another card from OP-14, 4 cost 5k, counter plus 1,000. On play, you then get to play another card from your hand, 3 cost or lower, Fishman or Merfolk. Yeah, as long as it's 3 cost or less, that's awesome. And on KO, you draw a card. So it's a 2-for-1. Play this and then play a 3 cost or lower for free, and then draw a card on KO. Again, absolutely fantastic. We love it. We've got Watatsumi here. Again, another card from OP-14. Counter plus 2k is important, and it cannot attack. But if you discarded a card from your hand this turn, then the character effects are negated. I.e., it can attack as long as you've trashed a card from your hand this turn, which, because of the leader skill, you're going to. And now you've got the counter plus 2k. It's a 3 cost 5k. It's a brilliant card. We love it. We've got Fisher Tiger. Seriously, you do not need many cards from other sets in order to play this Jinbe deck. And the Fisher Tiger is a 6 cost 7k, counter plus 1,000. On play, if your leader is Fishman, draw 3 cards. Yeah, this is nuts. In this deck, because of the whole discarding from your hand in order to use your leader skill, drawing 3 on play is way too good. This card is absolutely busted in this deck. Now, at the end of your turn, you do have to discard cards from your hand until you have 5, and that is every turn this is on the field. That really shouldn't be an issue. You're discarding cards from your hand with your leader skill. You've got things like Aladdin that are playing out 2-for-1. Frankly, you should never really have to worry about having more than 5 cards in your hand. The main worry with this deck is going to be not having enough cards in hand. So, yeah, really don't worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be fine. We've got the new Shirahoshi from OP-14. No power, it's Shirahoshi. But you got blocker and on play, draw a card, and then play a character that is Fishman or Merfolk from your hand with a cost of 3 or less. That's this and Aladdin that can play a 3 cost or lower on play. And it's a blocker. This is another card which is just nuts in this particular deck. And then we finish off at the top end of characters with the Jinbe, the character from the set. And if anyone's paying attention, that means it's just Promo Arlong and OP-06 Pudding. They are the only non-OP-14 characters in this deck, at least this build of it. That shouldn't really surprise anyone, but there we go. And the Jinbe here, it's an 8 cost 10k, and if you've trashed a card from your hand this turn, you get Rush. And again, as I keep telling you, that's going to have happened the vast majority of the time anyway. So yeah, sounds good. Also on play, rest 2 Don, draw 2 cards, and return a character with a cost of 7 or less to your owner's hand. So it's essentially a 10 cost, but it's a 10 cost 10k with Rush that draws 2 and bumps a 7 cost. I'm willing to pay 10 Don for that, frankly. That sounds good to me. And then in terms of your key events here, you've obviously got Perfume Fema. Great card. It lets you select one of your 7 Warlords of the Sea Leader or characters. This is a 7 Warlords deck, remember, it's Jinbe. Give them a 2k bump for the turn. And then if they attack, your opponent cannot activate blocker. So if nothing else, give your leader a 2k bump and your opponent can't activate blocker. Yeah. Also, the trigger drawing a card for all the reasons we've said is actually brilliant. But giving your leader a 2k bump and making it unblockable, that's how you finish out the game. And then, yeah, it's a blue deck. So we're obviously playing Gum Red Rock. Like, that shouldn't really surprise anyone. Obviously an absurd card here because, well, you just get to put any character to the bottom of the owner's deck. It is one of those rare cards that can bump anything. Most cards, there's an upper or lower limit as to what you're allowed to go for. Not with Gum Red Rock. It gets anything, and that's why blue decks invariably end up playing this card. Here's a deck list as a whole. I really like this deck. I think we've got enough power here in terms of attaching Donwee a leader. Then you've got the characters that can play 2 for 1. We've got a decent amount of rush in the deck. We got some draw. I love Jinbe. And also, it's really nice to have a deck where you can basically buy a bunch of OP-14 and then you're just going to have pretty much the whole deck. Like, go and buy 4 Charlotte Pudding and 4 Arlong, and then the events, obviously. And then that's it. Like, you've got the whole deck ready to go. Just makes it easier to build, which I think is fun. But I've told you about all of it now. I've told you all of these new cards, how the deck works, all of the tricks. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this deck. Do you think it's going to work? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.